Hello, everyone. It's time for another edition of Adventures in Careerland. Hello out there. I am Adriano Magnifico. I am the career lead at the Riel Arts and Technology Center. And I'm very fortunate to be sitting in the podcast studio of the Broadcast Media Program, which is one of the 13 programs at the Riel Arts and Technology Center. And it includes things like applied business management, automotive technology, baking, culinary, childhood educator, electrical trades, aesthetics, hairstyling, information systems, new media, plumbing. There's an opportunity here for a young person to come and test and gauge their skills and get a little sense of what should I do after the high school experience. The Arts and Tech Center, we call it ATC all the time. ATC is a space where high school students can come and collect high school credits as they complete their 30 credit cachet to earn a high school diploma here. We also take in post-secondary students and international students, so it's quite the diverse and varied place. A lot of inclusivity here, a lot of opportunity for students, and it's a great place I feel privileged to be a part of. I'm the career lead here, and we do a lot of work with students in the Career Center, helping with their resumes, their cover letters, internships, their programming. And I work with a program called Connect Your Dots, and that uses something called the Lean Design Canvas, where students learn how to tell their personal narrative, and they learn how to think about what's the best story I can tell to the people who matter down the road. And they may be employers, they may be scholarship adjudicators, they may be anyone you connect with in a space that helps you make a connection and helps build a network. So, hey, really glad to be here. And of course, we're in the Broadcast Media Program. This is one of those 13 programs. I think it's the gem. And we're sitting in a very cool studio. And I'm very privileged to work with a couple of student co-hosts. And our first student co-host is Andre Poirier. And he is actually in the Broadcast Media Program. How are you today, Andre?
I am doing amazing today. I got to say, when you're reading out all the different courses here, sounded like you're a great rapper. All quick.
A rapper.
A rapper.
Of course, I'm an old guy. When you say you want to rap, I just think, oh, do you want to have a nice conversation? Let's rap, man.
Well, I would be thinking like the food.
So you think I'm like P. Diddy or something?
Eminem type.
Or Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
I always wanted to be Snoop Dogg. Not really. Anyway, so you're doing well. I like that. And of course, you have Lena Alforti.
Yes.
I said that correctly.
Yes.
I'm always worried about that. And she's from the Applied Business Management Program. And Lena, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome today.
So now you've got a small business. How's the small business going?
It's going great. Right now, after I sold out, I'm shutting down my website for a little bit just to kind of take a break.
So that's a great small business.
No.
Thank you. We're done. We're done. Thanks for your help.
Just until the new drop. That's usually what designers do. Like they shut down the site in order to get ready for the new drop, update some things on the site, pictures, shoots, and whatever, and then they bring it back up and they launch the new collection. So next, I'm planning to launch some custom one-of-one bags that are really real leather, upcycled. It includes upcycled little belts and stuff. And then I have some skirts that have little belts on them too. It's all upcycled.
Okay, what's the name of the company? Plug yourself here.
LA by LenaAlfori.com.
And when's this drop coming? I love the cool term.
I'm not even, I don't have a specific date, but maybe a month or two. I'm going to keep updating my Instagram. So my Instagram is also LA by Lena Alfori, ALFAOURI, if you didn't know how to spell that.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of crazy. If you close down the site, isn't that counterproductive? What if somebody's looking for your site specifically and they just can't find it and then they give up?
Well, this is the thing. I shut it down because there's nothing for people to buy. Everything's sold out. So that it's what's the point of having the site up,
you have the site up and you say...
You could tell them the next drop is coming.
Yeah, you can on the
I've been
site
updating.
Sold out, drop coming this date. And then, people are like, oh, I'll come back there.
Yeah, and you know what? I might do something special for Earth Day because it's coming up, and it's a sustainable brand. I might do a little surprise thing. I'm thinking about it, so watch out for that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question, because we're in the Arts and Technology Center, and I can tell you, having been in this place for 2 or 3 years, very interesting place, like a great opportunity for high school students to really think past the academic programming that's very prevalent in all high schools, and all very good stuff. But this is an extra piece to do applied learning, technical learning, apprenticeship learning. And I can see the numbers are enormous. We had an open house. We couldn't fit more people in the gym. We wanted to learn more about the programming. Our graduating class this year is 33 dozen more than it's ever been. The applications next year to come into this place are over the top. It's packed.
That's awesome.
So what's happened? It wasn't like this at one time.
Yeah.
So what is happening to the perception of apprenticeship and applied learning in your own schools? Is it changing a bit? Because it always had a bit of a stigma. I can tell you, having been in this system for many years, people felt like, oh, if you had to go into the trades or the applied learning, it must have been because you couldn't do the other stuff.
Yeah.
Or, oh, you probably, we don't know what to do with you. Go try a trade. Yeah. Right? And that's happened. Is that changing? What are your perceptions? Because you're in the trenches with students. How are they perceiving this kind of school? Are there still the people who say, why are you going there? Or are people saying, oh, that's a great option, good for you?
I think more people are noticing how amazing it is, and are, oh my goodness, you're so lucky. I wish I went. I wish I signed up.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Do you find that too?
Yeah, people are more open-minded now because they see all these great people that are coming out of these programs and what they're doing now. So I think people are starting to realize that it's not just somewhere you go when you don't know how to do the other stuff type thing. So that's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and Red River numbers are very are very significant too. Mm-hmm. Like in the colleges, universities will always have their audience, but I think now you're getting people who actually are thinking, you know what, I'm going to try this out. And in fact, I'll never forget, I was sitting in a locker room at the Y, and I was, after a workout, there's guys on the other side of the lockers, and somebody's asking a student, hey, you know what? I just finished my kinesiology degree. And this guy goes, great, what are you going to do? And the guy said, I have no idea. I'm gonna go to Red River and get a trade. Okay. That's what the guy said. And he goes, and he understood there was great value in both. Anyway, the value of these trades is good. And we have as our guest today a very special person. And she is from the Riel Arts and Tech Center. Last year, she's a graduate. And she graduated from the pastry and baking and pastry program. And she's not living in Winnipeg. She's moved. She's looking at an adventure right now. And of course, I'm talking about Jenileen Cruz. How are you, Jenileen?
I'm good, thanks. How are you guys?
I'm very good. Jenileen, when you were thinking, you've done some university work. We had a chat yesterday. You started out in university. Do you recall we had that conversation?
Yes, I was at University of Winnipeg for a few years.
Yeah, and why did you take the university? When you went out of high school, you graduated from St. John's High School, and you graduated from high school. Your immediate impact thought process was, I've got to go to university, or did you ever consider the trades?
Back then, I didn't really consider the trades. I knew I wanted to try out university, so I worked 2 jobs to save money for that. And I didn't know what I was doing in university, honestly. At first, I thought I wanted to be a teacher. So I was in the Faculty of Education in my first year, and I majored in English and minored in French. And then it wasn't what I thought it was. So then I tried different courses, took a little bit of business, took a little bit of sociology. And then I really wasn't sure where I was going. So after COVID happened, that gave me time to realize what I was really passionate about. And I realized that baking and pastry arts was something I wanted to take seriously. So then I worked full time and saved money for that and enrolled myself in Riel Arts and Tech Center. My cousin, who is a pastry cook, recommended the school to me because she said the program is really good. It's really hands-on experience. And I'm so glad that I went.
Well, you found something that really connected to you, and you had someone in the kind of friendship support group who said you might want to try this. Otherwise, would you have even considered this?
I was thinking to go to Red River College, like the Patterson school for it.
Yes.
But then because I heard good things about Louis Riel Arts and Tech Center, that made me feel good about joining it. And it was a really good experience because the support I got from my chefs and Miss Murray was really good. And I really loved my experience there.
Yeah, and now this is amazing where the journey's taken you, because you're in a little town in BC right now called Osoyoos. Did I say that right?
Yes, you're correct.
Osoyoos in BC. Tell us about this little town you're in. We're broadcasting from Osoyoos. How cool is that? I never heard of this place. Tell us a little bit about this town.
But the town is considered the Canadian desert. It's really warm here. There's cactuses. It's really beautiful here. There's lots of mountains and lakes. And I never knew this place existed until I went on Indeed job searching.
So are you making like cactus soups now?
No. I'm working at Spirit Ridge Resort. So we have a restaurant and a cafe. Our restaurant is called The Bear, the Fish, the Root, and the Berry. So our cuisine is Indigenous inspired, and the cafe is more baked goods. And we have a lot of banquets, and we make so many desserts. It's really awesome.
That's amazing.
So what's your favorite dessert that you've ever made?
At this specific job, or
Just in general?
In general. I like quinamon. So it's a laminated dough. It's basically like a caramelized croissant. I did learn how to make it at ATC, and also I made some of them at my last internship. My last internship was at Cakeology. Shout out to Chef Austin Granados. He's going to be on the Food Network this year, which is really cool.
How cool is that?
That's awesome.
So you're hanging out with a pro.
Oh yeah, I'm very grateful that I get to learn from the best and get to work with so many professionals.
Is that a big deal? Like I'm thinking back to you in St. John's High School right now, and you're walking the halls of St. John. What's going through your head about what you want to be or what you want to do, and what are your friends telling you? And give us a little sense of what your high school experience was like.
When I was in high school, I wasn't sure where I wanted to go. I was thinking, I should try education and see if I like it, maybe become a teacher. But
why did that connect to you? Yeah, but why did that connect to you? Why did you think teaching?
Oh, I thought for me, teaching is, I like the teaching environment. I like the education environment. And I feel that my teachers were very positive. They had a very positive impact on me. So I wanted to become like them.
And that's a great, that's a great reason. Yeah. There were some role models there that said, that inspired you. Were there some courses that you were connecting to when you were going to school there that you thought, this course is I'm really enjoying this course. I wonder if I can connect more to this course as career?
I liked my English class. So I thought I wanted to be an English teacher because I really enjoyed it. We read Catcher in the Rye.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. And
how did that book impact you? I'm an English teacher.
Yeah, that book, it was very relatable at the time because Holden's brother passed away, and then when I was in high school, one of my close friends committed suicide. So I really, finishing grade 12 was kind of hard for me.
Yes.
But still pushed through and did it. So.
Do you have any family members when you were younger that really pushed you to keep going?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional.
Yeah,
No, that's
No
okay.
worries.
That's okay.
My auntie.
Take your time.
My auntie Scylla Villamar, she really supported me and pushed me to go for what I want. She always told me that to fight for my life. So that means to really believe in yourself and push yourself forward through the challenges. And I really stuck with it. So whenever there was a challenge, I always pushed myself and told myself, you're going to be successful anyways. This is hard. And when something's hard, I'll tell myself, this is hard, but I love it. If this is something I want and I love it, I'm going to keep pushing myself.
See, that's a great attitude. And you know what? That's an amazing attitude, Jenileen, because high school students generally, in my experience, sometimes when they encounter the difficult things, they back off. And your attitude was, it's tough. I'm going to dig in. And that's a great attitude. If there's something you're imparting to anyone who's listening to this podcast, is the dig in will take you far. The back off will keep you meandering a bit. So I just admire what you said. That's an amazing thing. And you've had, like, when you think of your journey now, when you come to the ATC pastry, I always noticed you because I worked with you in class. Do you remember me doing some of the connect the dots stuff with you in class? Do you remember?
Yes. And you also judged our Dragon's Den competition.
That's right. That's right. It was awesome. And I always thought you were just a slightly more mature student than the average high school student in there. Did you feel that way? You were kind of a bit of a mother hen to some of these cats that were 17 and 18 years old. Did you feel that way a little bit?
I felt like an older sister to the students there.
Yeah, did you feel like there was almost like a disconnect between you and your classmates because of the age difference?
A little bit, but I felt more like they did feel like younger siblings to me.
Oh, okay.
So,
Nice.
well, that's a tribute to Ms. Trottier building a family atmosphere in there. Do you think? Do you think?
Yes.
And that's one of the beauties of this place. If there's one thing I notice as a difference between this place and many of the other colleges that are in town is that people work very hard in trying to help everyone belong here and feel like a part of the program that they've invested time, decision-making, conversations with parents or friends about. And it's important that we want to keep you here. We want you to think you've had a very qualitative experience. And when you leave, you think about, I'm stronger and I'm faster. Tell us what the pastry program did for your confidence and your skills.
The baking and pastry arts program definitely made me more confident in baking. And I like that they prepared me for industry. So they would do these rubrics, and then chef would fill them out, and it'd be a feedback on what you need to work on so that you are ready for industry. So I really loved how they prepared me for it. But one of the main differences, though, is that when you actually are in industry, it is hard when you're first starting out. But then the more you do it, the more easier it gets.
That's a great point, Jenileen. There is a gap, right? Even with all your education and getting those first career jobs, not the part-time ones, because we can get the part-time ones, right? As young people, we can get them at Tim's, we can get them at Wendy's and all those other kinds of places. And they're important jobs because they help give you a sense of what a work environment looks like, feels like, even smells like sometime, right? When you're walking in, how to work with people in the spaces. But when you're on your first career job, when you left the pastry program, I remember chatting with you because we worked on resumes together, and you had opportunities. Talk about those first opportunities where you left Winnipeg. And was it difficult leaving Winnipeg and some of your family to pursue some of your dreams in the pastry business? So, because for whatever reason, you said, I want to be a pastry chef. And darn it, I'm going to go out and do it. talk about the journey when you left.
Yeah, so I was finishing school and I was talking to one of my old bandmates, Hannah Marsh. She was letting her know that I was almost done school and she moved to Alberta. Asked her,
hold it. You said hold it. You said one of my old bandmates.
Yeah,
so you played in a band. You don't throw that comment out fast and make us go, oh, she's just in a band. What the heck? Dum, dum, dum. Tell us about the band.
Okay, so the band that I made was called Renegades, and I had it in 2018. It lasted for maybe 5 months. So it was me and a few girlfriends. So Hannah Marsh was my drummer, and then I was the bassist, and we both did backup vocals sometimes.
Oh my God.
Play the bass?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So where did you play in your band? Like, did you play in your basement? Did you actually go out and do gigs?
So we would practice at our friend Alicia's house, and then we would do open mics. We'd go to places like Johnny G's, XQ's, The Cube.
I love Johnny G's.
So you were at The Cube. I love The Cube. I think it's Winnipeg's a great little venue. So
yeah,
you were playing, and so you were playing some little festivals and things like that then, right?
No, it was more open mics and...
Okay.
And where did this idea form? Like, how did you guys just decided one day that you wanted to form a band?
So I was working at a clothing store and a lot of my coworkers were girls. So then I said, I want to start a girl band. Let's start a girl band. Like, does anybody have a talent here?
And sometimes that's simply how simple it is, right? Mm-hmm. Who wants to join the girl band with me? And everybody puts up their hand. And that night you're in a garage somewhere pounding out a song. Is that how quickly it happens?
Yeah, it happened pretty fast because we spent a lot of time in Osborne Village because that's where we would practice.
Wow, that's awesome.
So one of your bandmates recommends a place to you. There's no greater testimony to the power of a network than what you just said. Your bandmate says, check this out. So what happened when you checked out? She was in HR, right?
Yeah, she became an HR because we had our band years ago, but we still kept in touch. So she was saying that, oh, you should try out for Canadian Rocky Mountain Resorts. I'm HR here. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I've never left Winnipeg before for work. I don't know. She said, oh, you should. The culinary scene's great in Alberta. So I did a couple interviews with the other HR. It went well. And then they didn't have any pastry cook positions open. They only had breakfast cook open. So I accepted it even though it wasn't pastry because I still wanted to get my foot in the door. Mm-hmm. So I ended up working at Deer Lodge Hotel in Lake Louise.
Whoa.
For a contract job.
So you also got to ski there if you wanted, right? Don't they let their employees ski and stuff like that there too? Or not?
They have good discounts for those who want to ski or snowboard. I haven't really skied before. I've only tried snowboarding, and I like snowboarding.
So this is part of an adventure. Did you think about when you're in St. John's, 2018, did you even imagine yourself at Lake Louise at this point in your life?
No, I didn't. Like I grew up in the north end of Winnipeg. I've lived I lived in a bubble. Like I never thought that I'd be traveling for work. I never thought that I'd live outside of Winnipeg. I remember when I was 13, I got mugged by a group of people, and it's like I never knew that my life would end up the way it is right now.
What a warm welcome.
Yeah.
But you stayed. You saw a problem and you just dealt with it. You went, that's not going to stop me.
Yeah. And
well, think of this journey. You're in Lake Louise. And you're cooking breakfast instead of croissants. Now, do you figure out real quick when you're doing those different kinds of activities, but it's in the cluster? I talk about career clusters all the time. You're in a cluster of, if you're cooking, you can cook pastry, you can also cook breakfast, you can cook dinner menus and entrees, you can do different things in the culinary industry. But you clearly understood when you did the breakfast that pastry's my gig. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But were you any good at, like, you just had a great breakfast this morning, right? I bet you made yourself a great breakfast this morning.
Yeah, the omelet.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Was that part of your skill set you also developed doing that other job?
I feel that I didn't make a lot of omelets. I mostly made like eggs Benedict, scrambled eggs, over easy eggs. Yeah, I feel that working at a restaurant makes you more picky with food.
And the ingredients. Are you super careful with ingredients and such?
Yeah.
Staring at labels, staring at like nutrition labels for hours.
Yeah.
But you use a lot of butter, right? You can't do pastry without butter. That's the thing about this place. Right. We have a great little cafeteria here, and you have a great pastry shop here when you're working in these programs in the Arts and Tech Center. There's so much butter here. Everything's so delicious because of butter. Are you a butter person?
Butter.
Yeah, I love butter. I'm a baker. I love butter.
You have to love butter. Yeah, that's the key, right?
Butter or margarine.
So you're working through butter or margarine. Butter or margarine. Did you ever use margarine on something? Okay. Anyway, think about now. You're in Lake Louise and you're wandering around there. The contract ends. Yeah. Are you checking out any other places? When do you wind up in Osoyoos?
Okay, so actually, after Lake Louise, I explored Alberta a bit, and then I got super homesick. Yeah. So I went back to Winnipeg to reset and figure out what I wanted. And it was so nice to be around friends and family again, because I was away for a while. And I did apply for jobs in Winnipeg, but then the ones I wanted weren't really available. They didn't have positions open. So then I decided to look outside of Winnipeg. So I went on Indeed. I looked at pastry cook job positions that were open, and then I found a lot in Alberta and BC. So I said to myself, I'll go for it. I'll try. Let's see where it takes me. And I had all these interviews within 1 week, and then the Osoyoos BC seemed like it was a good fit. So I went for it.
So what do you actually do in Osoyoos then? What is your job? What kind of things do you do there? So
I'm a pastry cook in Osoyoos.
You got it. You nailed it.
Yeah.
You're a pastry
From breakfast cook to pastry cook.
But I'm sure the breakfast cook made you a better pastry cook too, because you understood some of how a restaurant operates, right?
Yeah.
And how a business climate shapes itself around people and around clientele and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it did. It was a good intro to what it's like to work in a kitchen, and it made me see how fast-paced it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one piece you don't get, right? Even at the Arts and Tech Center here, things end. I mean, there's a fast-paced lunch hour and then it's over.
Yeah.
It's constantly fast-paced at those places, right? You're preparing, you're forecasting, you're ordering. Are you in charge of all that stuff now?
And for ordering, I'm not in charge of that. But if ingredients are low, I could let my pastry chef know.
Okay.
And I assist with the banquets, with restocking the cafe and the restaurant. So just making desserts for wherever they need in the resort.
So what are the desserts that are cool out there? What's the dessert you like making for people out there?
Right now I'm learning how to make bonbons. So it's chocolate.
That sounds like something. You're making bonbons. That sounds like something I eat in a theater or something. bag of
I don't know.
bonbons.
I imagine them as like a little bunny-shaped pastry.
A bonbon. I like that.
Bonbons are chocolate.
They're chocolates.
Is that what they're actually called? Bonbons?
Yeah,
It's in
they're
French.
filled with ganache and
Yeah.
You're making me
Oh.
so hungry right now.
Sounds so good.
yeah.
Keep going, but please stop. You're making me too hungry.
What kind of bonbons?
We had caramel ones and rum.
Ooh.
Something new that I learned how to make is fruit. So that's it's like gummies.
I love those.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so you're becoming quite the seasoned chef. Do you feel that way? Now, are you an actual chef? Are you a sous chef? What are you exactly?
I'm a pastry cook right now, but someday I'd like to get a red seal to become a pastry chef.
Yeah.
And you can do that in BC or Alberta to get the red seal. You'll have to go there for those.
Yes, and it's too bad you can't do it in Manitoba. We used to be able to do that a few years ago, and for whatever reason, they dropped that ability. So yeah, you are in the right space, connecting to what you want to do. This is kind of amazing. So think about this, Jenileen. You've had an interesting journey where you've kind of felt the challenges. You've picked yourself up and gone to places where you weren't sure what you were going to do. You're walking into the unknown. That's an interesting journey. It's a bit of an adventure in Careerland, I guess. But it's so Jenileen, you were in this space where you took a lot of chances. You were embarking on this adventure. You're not quite sure. There's a risk involved. Did you ever feel, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And if so, what kept you going?
Yeah. When stepping into the unknown, I've had some moments where I feel self-doubt, like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. What if it doesn't work out? But then what pushed me forward is that next time you have an opportunity, you should take it, even though it's intimidating. If things don't work out, you still end up learning something new in the end, and you gain new experience. So it's really good to try new things.
And Jenileen, have you ever turned down an opportunity?
Yes. So I actually tried. I had a short opportunity in Banff. I tried it out, but then that was the time that I got super homesick. So I did leave that job earlier.
Do you regret that?
No, I don't,
No.
because I still learned a lot. I still learned so much, but at that time, I really knew that I needed to go home. I needed it for my mental health to go home to see everyone.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you called that correctly. You called it a bit of a reset, right? A bit of a recharge.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yes.
Hey, you know what, Jenileen, this is interesting. What advice would you give to a young person if you were sitting in a classroom of grade 11s and 12s? What would you tell them about, okay, here's what I think you need to think about on your life's journey. That includes career, your life's journey. What would you tell them?
I would tell them that it's never too late to go for what you want. It's good to explore your options, and if you have a dream, just go for it, and never let anyone break your spirit. Oh,
that's a good line. You know what? That's good. That sounds like, again, someone's climbing up a mountain to get that information from you here. That's good. Way to go. I'm very proud of you, Jenileen. You've done good things. And you were, I saw that in you when you were in this program. I saw a special confidence. I saw a special skill set. I saw a deeper sense of purpose from you in this industry. So congratulations on making this happen. Don't know what your journey is going to be down the road. You may not know as well, but you're opening yourself to those possibilities and the pieces that connect to you and give you a deeper sense of purpose and gratification about your work. So good. I love it. Hey, we do something here, Jenileen. We're going to play a little thing with you here. Lena's going to ask you a few questions. I'm going to tell you what she's going to do. Are you ready for this, Lena?
Yes.
Explain what this is.
So it's basically like a series of questions, kind of like a this or that, and you don't have to think about it for too long. Just pick an answer. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Fudge or caramel?
Caramel.
Cookies or cupcakes?
Cookies.
Funfetti or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Nutella or peanut butter?
Peanut butter.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Chocolate croissants or plain croissants?
Plain croissants.
Oh, wow. Raspberry Danish or apricot Danish?
Apricot Danish.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
And last but not least, what is the best podcast?
Adventures in Careerland.
Jenileen, how can you eat a croissant? Like, if you had two croissants in front of you, a chocolate croissant full of beautiful soft chocolate, or a regular croissant, you pick the regular one?
Oh, I agree with her. I like
Really?
I like the beauty and the flakiness of a beautiful.
It is good. They
croissant.
are good alone, honestly. Yeah.
They're both good, but I prefer the chocolate.
They're both good.
Well, then maybe you should do your own quick cues. That was called quick cues, by the way.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
And that's what we do. It's usually a lame exercise, but it's getting better. Congratulations, you two. You're making this a little bit better.
Yay!
You're getting slightly better at it.
I really appreciate the butter croissant, like the flakiness, the
Yeah, like that's
flavor. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, when someone makes a perfect croissant, I would I'd take that over any filling. It just the flakiness of it, and when it comes out of the oven, oh my gosh, you know, that's something to be something to savor.
Anyway, hungry.
Generally, now I'm hungry. I got to go find a croissant somewhere.
You have to find the
I'm going to
pastry
go
cart.
wander through the streets. Somebody help me.
I need a croissant.
Jenileen, this was a lot of fun. I hope you had some fun doing this and telling your story. Have you ever told your story before?
Not really. No.
I like it. This is a great thing. I think some people are going to be inspired by your story because of the challenges, like some of the obstacles you felt, some of the challenges, some of your indecision. Because people just go to university sometime. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know why they've chosen the courses. But you kept moving along. You stayed on the journey. You kept on the path of exploring and trying to figure it out. I think your story is powerful and inspiring for a young person to understand that I just got to keep on the path. My purpose will find me. You don't always have to decide, this is what I must do. Your purpose will find you if you stay on the path. So congratulations on that. Any last comments from Jenileen?
I would like to say thank you guys for having me as a guest on your podcast. Also love to give shout outs to my chefs like Chef Trache, Miss Murray, Chef Noel Reed, and thank you to everybody that's been so supportive in my life.
Oh, that's a perfect ending. And ladies and gentlemen, you can catch Adventures in Careerland on your favorite social media platforms, and you can find it on your favorite podcast platforms. And I want to thank the producers. There's Achilles is in there, and Grace usually in there, and Chin is in there, and they're making sure all the sound and the technical aspects are always running top notch. And thanks to our co-hosts, Lena and Andre.
Oh, no, thank you.
No, thank you. No,
Thank you. No, thank you. No.
Okay, that's enough. And thanks to everyone who's had a hand in this, and to Mr. P. And that's it for another edition of Adventures in Careerland.